Hello, my name is Rob Griffiths, and I'm very proud and honored to be the principal of the Olentangy High School. I would like to welcome parents, family, faculty, and friends to the graduation commencement exercises for the class of 2021. This is a very special ceremony, not only for our graduates and their families, but for our entire school district. I would like to recognize our class advisors, Mrs. Erin Senta and Miss Whitney Hamilton, and Grand Marshals, Mrs. Linda Shank and Mr. Martin Meerhoff, and the Olentangy High School class of 2021.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets and gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Faculty, friends, parents, and graduates, this is the big moment, the graduation of the class of 2021. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Olentangy High School's 68th commencement exercises. The purpose of this ceremony is to honor our graduates as they begin their journey into the future. Mr. Rafe, members of the Board of Education, this is the class of 2021. At this time, please welcome Senior Class Cabinet Member Lily Bean, who will introduce Mr. Mark Rafe, the Superintendent of Olentangy Schools.
Originally from Parma, Ohio, Mr. Rafe attended Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, earning a Bachelor of Science degree in accounting. He obtained his teaching credentials from John Carroll University and a master's in educational administration from Cleveland State University. Mr. Rafe taught mathematics, business, and technology courses in Northeast Ohio to start his profession. Mr. Rafe served as assistant principal at Bexley High School, Westerville South High School, and principal at Westerville Central High School before joining Olentangy Schools as an Olentangy High School assistant principal. Continuing his administrative career, he led as the Liberty High School principal and the chief academic officer for the district. He was promoted to the position of superintendent of Olentangy Schools and has served as superintendent of one of Ohio's top-performing school districts for 5 years. Mr. Rafe is the proud husband of Katie Rafe, a 5th grade teacher. He and his wife have 4 children and 2 granddaughters. It is my honor to introduce our superintendent, Mr. Mark Rafe.
Thank you for the great introduction, Lily. It's my honor to be with you today to celebrate the graduating seniors of the class of 2021. I am pleased to extend my heartfelt congratulations to you. Equally important, congratulations and a sincere thank you to all of you who have supported these students on their journey to this, their high school graduation. Here at Olentangy, our mission is to facilitate maximum learning for every student. This is important to all of us as we think about our students and their educational journey, and we acknowledge that this requires much more than just academic success. It calls us to clearly identify the dispositions we strive to develop in the young people we serve. In considering this, we recently developed a guide, The Portrait of a Learner, to help us navigate setting our students up for success. The Portrait of a Learner is a lighthouse, guiding us through both calm and rough waters. It reminds us what is truly important and why we do what we do. It asks all of us in our Olentangy community to show up as a learner. When we show up as a learner, we model the key dispositions identified in the Portrait of a Learner. These dispositions guide us to continue to improve, to learn more, and do better. Our goal is to help our students graduate and leave our halls as purposeful, resilient, curious, and kind young adults, equipped to go out in the world and contribute in a successful and meaningful way in our communities. On the occasion of your graduation, I hope you're able to reflect on these dispositions and the ways in which you've grown in these areas, from your first day of kindergarten to now, your graduation day. Perhaps you participated in service opportunities, extracurricular activities, clubs or classes, and explored your interests and passions, creating purposeful experiences, building networks, and nurturing your interests. Perhaps you learned to fail and try again, to set goals outside of your comfort zone, or simply navigate hybrid or remote learning during this pandemic, strengthening your ability to be resilient. Perhaps you were presented with complex problems and evaluated potential solutions, impacting the classroom or school community around you due to your curiosity. And perhaps you were able to solve problems alongside people who are different than you and explore diverse perspectives in a kind and empathetic manner. When you show up as a learner and are open and flexible, you're able to see challenging complexities as an opportunity to grow. Most certainly, the last 14 months have brought many challenges and have pushed us, and especially all of you, to dig deep and exercise these dispositions. While there have been disappointments, challenges, and frustrations, there have been opportunities for growth and reflection. These experiences will serve you well regardless of where life takes you next. None of these dispositions are fixed states that are considered complete as you graduate, but are constantly changing throughout your journey. Lifelong learning allows us to get better at all of them when we are intentional as we face new experiences, which will inevitably include both challenges and successes along the way. I wish each of you the very best in all that you do. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Hello, my name is Leah Volpe, and I'm a member of our senior class cabinet, and I would like to introduce our class song, Brave, by Adina Menzel and Glenn Ballard, performed by the Olentangy High School Commencement Choir. Hello everyone, my name is Kennedy Recklaw, a member of Senior Class Cabinet, and it is my pleasure to announce Kushi Agarwal as Olentangy High School's 2020-2021 Valedictorian. Kushi is the daughter of Manish and Shushma Agarwal. Throughout high school, she has been very involved in extracurriculars, including 4 years on the tennis team, being the current president of HOSA, and participating in math club. In the fall, Kushi plans to attend Cornell University. She will study business in hopes of going into investment banking. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2021 Valedictorian, Kushi Agarwal.
Thank you, Kennedy, for such a warm welcome. Families, friends, faculty, and fellow graduates, welcome to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2021. My name is Kushi Agarwal, and I am honored to be giving the valedictorian speech on behalf of our graduating class. When I reflect on my time here at Olentangy, the most defining part was these last 14 months. We concluded our junior year through a screen, tested our mental strength, and most importantly, learned how resistant this world can be to change. So when we're told to change the world, just imagine how intimidating that truly is. Despite our personal setbacks, just in these last 14 months alone, we have also gone through some of the most significant scientific breakthroughs, social reformation, and political strides. So sometimes it's hard to understand what is truly left for fixing. But if we think about all of these moments individually, they are the result of two things: innovating in times of challenges and navigating uncertainty. Our individual challenges are the most defining moments of our lives and should not be taken with discouragement. It is these moments that test our character with resilience and patience. We have just seen this year firsthand how the pandemic sparked our creativity. Whether it is as simple as learning a new coffee recipe, exploring a new club, or even picking up a new hobby, we as young adults have already learned to adapt and innovate in the face of disruption. So as these challenges push you into new pursuits, I ask you to relentlessly explore the unknown. Soon we all will embark on our own paths after high school, and the only thing to guide us in this changing world is our instinct. So have faith in yourself and be receptive to new knowledge, experiences, and perspectives to hopefully enhance your own. Jim Rohn once said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend your most time with." So Braves, surround yourself with ambitious people who will push you out of your comfort zone and who will always challenge you in any merit. Thinking of the people who have challenged me the most, I would like to dedicate this time to thank them, since they are the reasons why I am up here today. First, my parents. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for immigrating here and affording me every opportunity imaginable. You both have shown me the power that comes with trusting your instinct. And thank you to my friends who have been there for me and who have challenged me to be the best version of myself. And finally, thank you to my teachers here at OHS for displaying wisdom, curiosity, and drive every day. And on behalf of the graduating class, thank you to all of the staff and faculty. Your time and dedication will never go unnoticed. As graduation marks the end of this chapter in our lives, let us never forget the power that we have in our own journeys. I'm sure that many of you, like myself, are anxious for this next chapter, but I ask you to not treat this like a textbook counting the pages left until the end, because that is simply unknown. Treat each day that passes like a new page ready to be written in ourselves. With our luck as Olentangy graduates, we have been given all of the ink and paper we need to create a bestseller. So today, I challenge you to never compromise the credence of your own storybook by its broken spine or the occasional rustic page, for it simply adds to its plot. Graduates, this year, our class has redefined what it means to be a brave. We have learned to conquer uncertainty and seize each challenge. So whether you're the one leading the next social change or even the one engineering the next medical discovery, if we deem our challenges worthy of constant innovation, we will change the world. Congratulations, class of 2021, and go Braves.
Thank you, Kushi. Mr. Rafe, Mrs. Wagner-Fiesel, members of the Board of Education. It is with great pleasure and pride that I present the class of 2021 who have successfully completed both state and local requirements for graduation.
Fatima Abdul Qadir Aden. Stephen Lawrence Adkins. Kushi Agarwal. Syed Hamza Ali. Madeline Michelle Allen. Warren Cyril Alfonso. Nathaniel Taylor Antle. Samantha Apple. Brooke Christine Arline. Sophia May Arnold. Rachel May Austin. Jack Stellman Ayers. Taya Rose Baerga. Alyssa Claire Bannock. Mackenzie Marie Bajorek. Reagan Avery Barlow. Nicholas Benjamin Batten. Brendan Mark Beals. Lily Grace Bean. Lauren Elizabeth Beaumont. Noah Matthew Beck. Danielle Grace Beitelman. Kylie Ann Beinecke. Jackson Adams Belcher. Kabir Sachin Belgikar. Srikar Balana. Mitchell Von Berger. John V. Bott. Skylar Kenton Biffle. Matthew Jordan Calistri Bosker. Anthony Aaron Boyarko. Caroline Joyce Brenneman. Caroline Brogdon. Cole Alexander Brookshire. Joseph Christopher Bulinski. Devin Jacob William Bergduff. Samuel Frederick Bycroft.
Aaron Joseph Carlson.
Javon Angelo Carrington. Angelo Michael Carroll. Jamie Elizabeth Carroll. Reagan Gabrielle Carroll. Carlos Allen Carcelli. Damaris Grizel Cia Valdenegro. Austin Chan. Aaron Michael Chapman. Reba Suresh Chetty. Yanet Lal Shamelis. Camille Ashley Clark. Bethany Leanne Clarkson. Dyer Conrad. Charles Little Cook. Olivia Grace Cook. Sarah Catherine Kudnick. Benjamin Noble Cunningham. Sarah Genevieve Dan. Olivia Isabel Davidson. Ethan John Davis. Rebecca Giovanna de Oliveira. Patrick Ryan Dempsey. Ashley Marie DeStephanis. Aditya Devnani. Olivia Sarah DeGiovanni. Anthony Vincent DeMarzo. George Mario Dix. Lynn Nyok Do. Hayden Wesley Daup. Kennedy Catherine Daup. Cameron Wayne Drummond. Margaret Louise Duffy. Hallie Elizabeth Dykstra.
Brandon Michael Eddy. Eric Zachary Efland. Rory Rianne Eichelberry. Omar Haytham Salah El Sharafa. Colin Joseph Elbert. Bryson Riley Shad Elder. Nicole Xiaoyu Elliott. Luke Stephen Elmore. Chanel Camilla Elmer. Ava Marie Enderly. Sean Richard Endress. Jason Wesley Fiesel. Olivia Jacqueline Farrell. Maxwell Keith Fiddler. Reed Douglas Fiddler. Lauren Catherine Fink. Christopher Andrew Flood. Robert Ashton Flores. Brooklyn Elizabeth Forney. Chloe Ann Forrest. Nicholas David Fromer. Threethi Anil Gutta. Thomas James Gadd. Ryan Christopher Gamma. Daniel Nelson Gillenwater III. Amanda Irene Goldhart. Caleb Robert Gossett. Stephanie Jo Gravely. Austin Michael Grether. Ashley Hope Abney Griffith. Olivia Michelle Gross. Benjamin Joseph Hall. Melissa Lynn Halley. Ethan Michael Hand. Manraj Singh Hansra. Raymond Connor Happel. Ryan Christopher Harner. Kalia Nichelle Harrison. Annalise Marie Harvey. Lillian Michelle Heinze. Liam Christopher Henderson. Jackson Martin Hennigan. Lucas Nathan Hensel. Ryan Edward Hewitt. Jonalyn Bree Hinderlong. Caroline Ann Heiss. Marcus Stephen Hawk. Caleb James Hoffman. Dakota Anderson Hughes. Gage James Hupp. Kamakshi Ashna Irigam Reddy. Samuel James Irwin. Ashraf Mohammed Islam. August Stanford Jacobsmeyer. Omar Siatu Adama Jah. Tavian Michael James. Julie Gilson. Landon Mitchell Johnson. Olivia Susan Johnston. Jensen Avery Journey. Maxwell Ian Kaiser. Naina Sai Karnati. Vidyashri Kasiraman. Samuel Scott Kaler. Luke James Kevins. William Holt Keller. Daniel Patrick Kelly. Matthew Patrick Kennedy. Lauren Elizabeth Kirscher. Samith Reddy Kethareddy. Bryn Anna Kibler. Lauren Adriana Kingsley. Liberty Alexis Kingsley. Ellen Joanne Kennard. Manny Merrill Kirkhart. Taylor Ann Mason Knievi. Kendall Grace Caberna. Edward Jude Conrad Jr. Bharath Shauri Venkata Korapati. Emma Margaret Cradafil. Caitlin Joy Kravitz. Aditi Kumari.
Sudipta Eva Lahiri.
Taylor Leonard Lansdale. Brennan Marshall Larison. Juliana Grace Lee. Brooke Davis Leonard. Richard Allen Lip III. Kea Tejas Lodawala. Macy Renee Lors. Zachary Michael Lyons. Conlin Ma. Hunter Graham Majkowski. Tyler Ryan Mandelkorn. Nicholas Michael Manivalowski. Rachel Marie Marasco. Gerline Kaur Mavi. Zachary Allen McCanna. Colin Riley McComb. Michaela Shea McCoy. Ava Lene McDermott. Evan Robert McDonald. Landon Matthew McElroy. Alden Michael Metzger. Jace Patrick Middleton. Cole Graham Miller. Zachary Ali Mohammed. Hanya Kaja Mohidin. Abigail Jean Moreland. Jessica Catherine Morris. Jackson Bodie Moses. Isabel Celeste Mardzikowski. Sean Thomas Mullen. Vasani Ramana Mungamaru. Melanie Munoz. Orion Faith Murphy. Peyton Catherine Murphy. Akash Vishnov Nalari. Maxwell Lal Nanda. Ryan Charles Nardella. Anitha Nurtarajan. Logan Nutarajan. Joseph Thomas Naveau. Lindsay Ray Neal. Madison May Neighbor. Audra Catherine Nell. Marianne Reagan Nelson. Ellie Palatimi Nicoloulius. Bobby Panayotis Nicoloulius. Leah Maria Nicoloulius. Jacob Tyler Nussdorfer. Mackenzie Cheyenne Oder. Kyle Matthew Offenbacher. Ajoa Boatima Ofori. Nicholas Arthur Ottenberger. Taylor Ashley Otis. Alec Matthew Palmer. Om P. Pandya. Pratul Parida. Mateo Perez. Charlotte Emma Pollock. Christopher Thomas Powell. Addison Avery Prindle. Emily Page Prosser. Mia Joy Provenzano. Seth Thomas Pruitt. Abene Reddy Puta. Vera Dede Quarshi. Anna Marie Ramirez. Braden Alexander Ramsey. Joshua Thomas Ransom. Derek James Rather. Kennedy Morgan Recklaw. April Elizabeth Renzelman. Jordan Elizabeth Renzi. Madeline Christine Richardson. Owen Matthew Riedel. Benjamin Forrest Roby. Callie Elizabeth Robinson. Helena Rose Ronnebaum. Sophia Isabella Rosa. Jill Rebecca Rosenberry. Johan Hakon Torsrud Rosgaard. Abigail Sienna Ross. Carly Emerson Ross. Nathan Scott Radowski. Evan Zachary Ruhlman.
Maria Paula Sandel.
Isha Shawnee. Grant Douglas Schaffner. Lauren Marie Schertzinger. Luke Anthony Schobert. Kelsey Lynn Schuliger. Ashlyn Maureen Scott. Caitlin Marie Scott. Kyle Jeffrey Selby. Owen Christopher Settles. Emmanuel John Siebold. Olivia Rosemary Shamel. Aryan Sharma. Aryan Dunesh Shetty. Abigail Elaine Shipley. Kendall Joanne Shirk. John Francis Simonis. Alexander Forrest Smith. Hayden Christopher Smith. Preston Elliott Smith. Jordan Nicole Swords. Colin Joseph Somerville. Lauren Liddell Sommerfeld. Yadnia Kiran Sonaune. Aurelia Johanna Sontag. Sophie Shaw Sparks. Corbin Nicholas Sperling. Megan Elena Spahn. Archita Shriram. Roshan Shriram. Sophia Ann St. John. Megan Charity Steele. Mason Gray Stein. Alexis Scarlett Steinke. Evan Thomas Stevens. Natalie Danielle Stimmel. Abigail Swamidas. Teja Swini Tollery. Satvik Tasupali. Kat Akima Thompson. Emily Caroline Tibbles. Bryn Elizabeth Tokars. Grant Michael Tomsick. Huang Tran. Crystal Sy. Salamatu Camille Tunkara. Macintosh Lee Turner. George Vincent Urich. Cole Jeffrey Van Riper. Leah Min Volpe. Caitlin Mackenzie Wallace.
Netapa Watendo Nellie Kelly.
Jade Destiny Watkins. Henry Samuel Webb. Henry Garrett Wentworth. Elizabeth U. White. Kevin Zachary Wieging. Benjamin Richard Wilch. Jordan Maxwell Wilkerson. Emma Ruth Williams. Jack Aiden Willis. Kara Nicole Wilson. Nicholas Michael Wilson. Toby James Wilson. Leah Elizabeth Weiser. Ethan Philip Wise. Spencer Robert Wong. Nathaniel Thorne Wortman. Elijah Thomas Yonka. Nathaniel Paul Zerang. Garrett Thomas Ziny. Abigail Rose Zipser.
Class of 2021, we arrived here together. You as nervous freshmen wondering about high school and what it holds for you. What path would you take? I'll be honest, I was also a little nervous, wondering if I was ready for you. You got an introduction to the building, to me, the other administrators and teachers on BCom Day. We had some fun, you took a tour of the building, and got your high school ID. During the first few days, we had class meetings. Seniors that year got an earful from me, and some of them passed along to you that I was mean. You came into that first meeting and listened to my message. You were expecting me to go on a rant like I had with those seniors. I didn't have to, Instead, you listened as I talked about my goals for you. I told you I wanted you to find your passion, to take classes that challenged you and help you find what you really want to do when you go off to the next stage of your life. I wanted you to challenge yourself to be the best and to lead by example. Many of you took me up on that and are leaving here knowing exactly what your life's work will be. Many of you took me up on my open door policy and came to my office, and we had some really good conversations about life, school, sports, what you wanted to do when you grow up, and how to get there. When I look back to when you were freshmen here at OHS, I do not know how the time passed so quickly. We got to learn a lot about each other. You got to know me and that I like country music, because that's what I played in the Commons during lunch. Many of you don't like my genre choice, so I took some requests. Not as many as you wanted, but I played some of them. We played Waka Waka and some line dances during lunch back when we could. We sang Sweet Caroline, Living on a Prayer, and Don't Stop Believing together. And some Fridays at lunch, it even turned into a dance party. You were always willing to participate, and that is one of the many things that I love about this class. Old people, like myself, tell younger people all the time to enjoy the moment. Take time to enjoy the journey. Don't let the time pass and wonder where it went. I told myself that when I became your principal, and yet here we are, 4 years have passed, and you were going off to your next great adventure. I bet you hear stories, maybe even from your parents or your grandparents, about how easy you have it these days. Technology, among other things, have created the world we live in, that of instant gratification. Except if you're in the Starbucks line at 7 a.m. and you're a senior with the first period class. My parents and grandparents told me they had to walk uphill both ways, to and from school in 2 feet of snow, and that it is much easier now than what they had. I am pretty sure that they were not being completely honest about that uphill both ways thing. However, the story that you will be able to tell your own kids or grandkids someday is they have it easy. Why? Because for your senior year of high school, you had to wear a mask every day. You had to social distance from your friends and go one way in the hallways. You could only take your mask off to eat lunch and then right back into the mask and off to your next class. I'm not sure how that story will grow, but we know that it will. You showed a tremendous amount of resiliency through your time here at OHS. Some of you lost quite a bit as juniors and seniors, and many of you had quite a bit to complain about, but many of you didn't. You chose to work hard, to accept the hybrid requirements, even though your friends were in the other part of the alphabet, just so that you could be back in school. You chose to do your very best with the situation that none of us had any control over. You realized how much you missed school. Well, maybe not actually school, but the place that you went to socialize and participate in the many activities that you do. You adjusted back to the everyday attendance model, even though by then you were just wanted to skip to fourth quarter and get to graduation. I appreciate this class more than just being my first 4-year class. You have endured setbacks and continue to stay the course. I know that you will accomplish amazing things in the years to come. I mentioned country music earlier when talking about getting to know each other. Of course, I must talk about famous OHS alumni Gary LaVox and his new song, How They Remember You. Even if you don't like country music, the lyrics of this song should hit home with all of you. We will forever remember the class of 2021 and the bridges that you built, that you made us laugh, and you always tried. That is how we will remember you. I have added a new favorite quote that I will use from now on, but it started with all of you. It is by Mark Twain, and it is important to me and what we do for you here at OHS. The quote is this: "The 2 most important days in your life are the day that you were born and the day that you find out why." My hope for you is that Olentangy High School, or as you know it, main campus, has helped you find out your why, or at least started you towards that end. Continue to maintain that resilience that you have demonstrated the last 15 months and chase your passion. Class of 2021, you have left your mark on Olentangy High School by all of the accomplishments that you have accumulated. As you go off to your next challenge, whether it's a 2 or 4 year college, trade school, or work, I know that this class will continue to amaze us. On behalf of our faculty, staff, and administrative team, it has been a pleasure to be your principal the last 4 years. My hope is that you will continue to be brave because you will always be a brave. Congratulations and good luck. At this time, please stand and join the Olentangy Commencement Choir for the singing of the Olentangy High School alma mater.
Of the blue and gold we sing, the crest and fields our voices ring, ring. For the school we love so well, we find our thoughts forever ring, ring. Hail to Olentangy High, lift her banners to the sky. May we always cherish all the memories we found there. Alma mater, proud and true, we will always honor you as the school where we once filled to the joys of high school days, to the joys of high school days.
Please be seated. My name is Ellen Kennard, and I am a member of the Senior Class Cabinet, and I will be presenting the gift from the class of 2021. Over the years, we have watched football, soccer, lacrosse, and other sports at our beloved OHS Stadium. A few years ago, we were granted with a beautiful turf field, and now we want to add another wow factor to the stadium. As a class, we are donating money to the athletic department to install a large OHS decal across the chairs of the home side bleachers. As you drive by the stadium, you will be able to see the representation of our high school and be reminded of the class of 2021 who donated it. With that being said, I proudly present this gift to the Olentangy High School and to its current and future students. We are extremely excited to get this project started.
As is academic tradition, a student that has not yet earned a degree wears the tassel of their mortarboard on the right side. However, once the diploma is conferred, the scholar moves the tassel to the left side, joining a select company of educated men and women. In recognition of our new status, I invite all recipients of a diploma today to move your tassels to the left as we applaud our outstanding efforts. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Thank you, seniors, for your very generous and thoughtful gift. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the 68th commencement of the Olentangy High School. Thank you very much for celebrating with us, and congratulations to the class of 2021.